Okay, so this video is going to be talking about how we can target two different expressive language goals through play. Um, Due to COVID, I do not have the actual toys, but I'll be using pictures, just trying to explain how I would use different activities and different types of toys to be able to target different goals. For the first goal, I have that the client will use single words to request, comment, protest, or question an adult. And I think I have it in 50% of trials or opportunities through play in a session. So, one of the activities that I thought about that I could do for this was to just kind of self-talk for a little bit as you're playing with them. So I talked about how, okay, I can take some pasta and put it in a pot, and I'm going to put it on their play stove, or maybe I don't have a play stove and we don't need it, and that's okay. They're going to most likely understand that concept. And me as the clinician, I'm going to hold on to the spoon because I know that we're going to need the spoon to stir the pasta. And so I'm going to ask the client, oh man, it looks like our pasta needs stirred. What do we need to stir the pasta? And the child, we're hoping, will say spoon. We're wanting the child to be able to express with a word, to comment. Maybe they're going to request the spoon from me, or maybe they're going to question it and say spoon. We just want them to talk. So this child probably isn't expressing much language at all. And so we're just wanting them to simply say a single word, spoon, or really any word that's pertinent to what we're talking about. So I'm hoping that they'll say spoon. If they don't say spoon, then I'm going to kind of keep on talking, and I might grab a spatula and say, do I use this to stir the pasta? And if they say no, we're going to count that in our data because that is still a comment, and so that's still relevant to this goal. And so I can say, would I use a spatula? And they might kind of look at me, they might giggle, they may not say anything, and I'll say, no, I wouldn't use a spatula. And then I might try something else, like, what about a banana? Would I use a banana to stir my pasta? And so I would kind of keep on doing that scaffolding, and then I might even say spoon and hope that they say yes. And then I'll say, okay, go ahead and stir after you say spoon. And so then I'm going to just try to get them to say it. That's definitely a lot more cueing, but that's how I would scaffold it, just to try to motivate them enough to say a single word. And I would prefer a vocabulary word because that has more meaning than yes or no answering my questions. So for another expressive language goal, I have that the client will increase to 50 meaningful words. And that's just through play. And so I'm assuming that through their evaluation, maybe they only had a list of 20 words that the parent and the clinician could come up with that they had seen the child using with meaning. And so for that, you can do so many things through play. So one thing that I might do is I might give them an option, and I might say, do you want the ice cream or the banana? And I need them to say what they want. And so if they just kind of look at me, I'll say, I might repeat the question again and say, do you want the ice cream or the banana? But I'm not going to indicate ice cream, banana from the very start because I want it to be a meaningful word. But I'm also not going to give it to them until they say the word. And so if they point, if they pointed to, they're probably going to point to the ice cream. If they pointed to the ice cream, I'll say, what do you want? And then I'll say, okay, I need you to say it. And if they don't know the word, then I'll say, do you want ice cream or a banana? That's when I'm adding that gestural cue, just to kind of scaffold and kind of help them out a little bit more. But I'm still making it a point that I'm not going to give this to you until you say it. I really want you to try to say the word. So I would say, do you want ice cream or banana? And you can do that with anything. You could say, whoops, sorry. You could say, do you want the ball or the block? But you do want to try to present them at the same time from the very start, just to be able to make sure that you know that they know the meaning of the word. So you could say, do you want the ball or the block? Or you can say, do you want the block or the ball? You can change it up so it's not always this and then this. Because you really do want to ensure that it's a meaningful word, because then later on in conversation, you want them to be able to say, I want the ball. You want them to be able to prove to you that that is a meaningful vocabulary word that they have now learned. And I like doing that with choices because I think that you're exposing multiple words, but it's also not overstimulating for the child. So by only giving them, 2 options, you're allowing them to kind of process and really pay attention to what you're offering to them. You do want something to be something that they would want, so they're actually paying attention to you. But I like doing that because either way, they're going to choose one, but you're exposing them to 2 words just in that 5-second interaction. So those are just 2 examples of how you would target 2 different goals.